The Prana Pratishtha is a civilizational moment for Bharat. At least that is what the saints and seers in Ayodhya say. Why then this shrill language? Why this rhetoric? Is there merit in Union Minister Giriraj Singh saying that would such language have been used if a church or a mosque was being celebrated somewhere? Why only against a Shriram temple? Joining me on this special broadcast, Sanju Verma represents the BJP, Ghanshyam Tiwari represents the Samajwadi Party, Sriraj Nair represents the Vishwa Hindu Parishad, Syed Asad Abbas is a political analyst joining me on the show. We also have Dr. Ravi Bhatt, author and historian. He's written extensively both on Maryada Purushottam Shriram and on Saket, on Ayodhya Nagri. Joins us on the broadcast. But Ghanshyam Tiwari, Union Minister Giriraj Singh accuses the opposition alliance of insulting Lord Ram and hurting the emotions of Ram Bhakts. Why would leaders like Jitendra Awad, for example, claim Sri Ram was a meat eater? Acharya Satyendra Das, he's the chief priest of Ram Temple at Ayodhya, says ये बिल्कुल झूठ है, मिथ्या है. रामचंद्र जी कंदमूल खाते थे, according to the chief priest at the Ram Janmabhoomi temple, sir. Ghanshyam Tiwari, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, go on, sir. Respond to all these shrill comments that are being made about the Sri Ram Janmabhoomi consecration, about leaders like Jitendra Awad, what they're saying, because Acharya Satyendra Das, the chief priest of the Sri Ram Janmabhoomi temple, says all this is not true. Sri Ram used to eat kandamul. He was a vegetarian, according to the chief priest of the Sri Ram temple.
Good evening, Gaurav, to you, my co-panelists and the viewers. There are two or three things that are important. One is that the temple project has been a political mission for BJP. They will seek to politicize. When you have ministers like you showed Giriraj Singh, the man who called Brahmeshwar Mukhiya the Gandhi of the man, Brahmeshwar Mukhiya, Ranveer Sena founder, was called Butcher of Bihar. Mr. Singh called him, sitting minister, called him Gandhi of Bihar. So for BJP, the Gandhi and the description is different. As far as for every one of your viewers is concerned, Ram Astha ke vishay hai, it's a matter of personal faith, and no government, no political party can issue a whip that who should visit the temple, who should address their God, who should pray to their God, in what manner. As far as the social discussions about the narrative of Hindu Rashtra and the place of Bhagwan Ram in that discussion, that is a age-old continuous discussion. Where when we look at the social justice movement, the foundation of social justice movement is that BJP as a party that believes in Manusmriti, that does not believe in Tiranga, that did not believe in the equality of caste, the opportunities for backwards and the less, that denies the reason, rationale for caste census. This is going to be an ongoing battle. And BJP, because it has a feudalistic mindset, will say that everybody who calls for equality in religion has to be condemned.
Okay.
And
तो अगर जितेंद्र आवाद कहते हैं राम मांस खाता था, राम क्षत्रिय था, the caste census comes into that. Fair enough, sir. That may be your answer to Jitendra Awad's statement. I respect your response, sir. Sanju Verma, respond when opposition leaders say जाकी रही भावना जैसी, प्रभु मूरत देखी तिन तैसी. Why then this insistence on seeing Lord Ram in a certain way? And as you know, the opposition says the BJP is trying to appropriate Lord Ram. BJP के नहीं है श्री राम, पूरे विश्व के हैं.
Gaurav, a very happy New Year and Ram Ram to all your viewers, yourself, and my co-panelists. I'll come straight to the point and I'll bat with a straight bat. Those who accuse the BJP of appropriating Maryada Purushottam Ram and his legacy, they need to understand that for the longest time, ever since the Palampur resolution of 1989, when the entire construction of a Bhavya Ram Mandir vaulted onto the center stage of Indian polity, since 1989, for more than 3 decades, more than 3.5 decades, the fact that we will have a Bhavya Ram Mandir has been on the BJP's agenda, including on the BJP's official poll manifestos. So if you're saying today BJP does not deserve credit, you're living in La La Land. Point number one. Point number two, this entire Ram Mandir issue has become, unfortunately, I can't find a better analogy. So I'll go with this one. वो जो कहते हैं दिल्ली का लड्डू है ऑपोजिशन के लिए, ना ये निगल सकते हैं ना ये उस लड्डू को उगल सकते हैं. They can neither swallow it nor can they do away with it, because on the one hand the opposition wants to peddle this soft Hindutva narrative. On the other hand, driven by the visceral hatred for Narendra Modi and driven by the plank of appeasement politics, which is their only calling card, and the fact that they do not want to upset and offend minorities, they will never come out in the open and say that yes, we stand in solidarity with the fact that come 22nd January, the consecration of Bhagwan Ram at the Bhavya Ram Mandir is something which is a civilizational achievement, which cannot be looked at purely from a Hindutva prism. It cannot be looked at purely from the prism of the 100 crore Hindu population in a country of 1.4 billion people. Ram sabke hai, and I will just end by saying one thing. Gaurav, you gave a lengthy monologue to the SP. He said that BJP believes in polarization, BJP is divisive, BJP is casteist in its entire DNA. So I will just answer that in 20 seconds with hard facts and not rhetoric. We have 85 OBC MPs. Point number one, amongst the 303 MPs. 35% of Modi government's cabinet constitutes OBCs. 37% of our MLAs are OBCs. 41% of our MLCs are OBCs. We have not only the highest number of OBCs in the Modi cabinet, but we have 12 Dalits and we have 8 people from scheduled tribes. So if there is anyone who can lay a claim to Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas and Sabka Prayas in the truest sense of the term, it is Narendra Modi, and yes, BJP deserves credit. यदि BJP को credit नहीं मिलना चाहिए तो किसको मिलना चाहिए?
ठीक, so okay, Ghanshyam Tiwari wants to respond. Ma'am, adequate time given before I bring in Syed Azad Abbas. Ghanshyam Tiwari, you wanted to quickly respond, sir.
Well, two things stand out. That yes, BJP can say what they are, but I have the India Today report that communicates how BJP is a citadel for upper caste feudal mindset. And in the administration of Adityanath ji, it is visible. Second is that for BJP, the reality of Ram, the reality check of their faith in Ram, of the values of Ram is that today Braj Bhushan Singh is their ambassador. The criminals
allow me to moderate. I'll give you an opportunity. I'll bring in other guests. I ask very specific questions and then our viewers decide who's answering on what lines, ma'am. But just let him respond. And Syed Azad Abbas, the opposition alliance is very clearly being accused of Muslim appeasement. This shrill rhetoric is meant to take away from a very auspicious civilizational moment. Take, for example, what Tejasvi Yadav, Deputy Chief Minister of Bihar, said when he said, if you fall sick, you will go to a hospital, you will not go to a temple. How are the two correlated, sir?
Gaurav Sahab, I'm very glad that you asked me this question since I'm the one from the minority on the panel. Let me address this straight to you. That, Allama Iqbal very beautifully said that Lord Shriram, Maryada Purushottam Shriram, is indeed Imam-e-Hind, which means leader of India. If any of the leaders, be it BJP, Congress or the India Alliance, think that by disrespecting Lord Shriram, you're able to win us or make us happy, absolutely not. We have great, beautiful respect for a mighty Lord Shriram. Now coming straight to the point, let me address one by one. What Jitendra Avahad said, he has regretted it and apologized it. Secondly, closer home, B.K. Hari Prasad has made a statement. What did he say and how BJP is trying to twist it? B.K. Hari Prasad mentioned that the government of Karnataka is concerned about the yatris traveling from Karnataka all the way to Ayodhya. They must be provided with security. They must be ensured that all the precautionary measures are taken so that there is no untoward incident. What happens then? Lo and behold, BJP twists it completely and says, Godra like, absolutely not. He's only mentioning about the safety of Ram Yatris. Second point, the fact of the matter...
He's mentioned Godra, he's mentioned Pulwama, he's mentioned elections, sir.
Last 30 seconds, Gaurav sir.
Yes.
30 seconds and I complete. The fact of the matter, here in Karnataka, we also saw statewide protests from the BJP. What did they say? They're trying to shield an arranged criminal who is Shrikant Pujari with 16 cases against him of gambling, of attempt to murder, and of course the Babri demolition. संजू जी, आपकी भाजपा को कोई काम नहीं है क्या? आप एक alleged criminal, 16 केसेस है जिसपे उसको you're trying to shield and protect. Ma'am, we are against all those readers who speak against Ram. But you need to understand one thing: protecting a criminal is not the way ahead.
Okay,
May I
Sanju
come in now,
Verma, since a
Gaurav?
direct point has been
Thank
made
you.
about you, please respond before I bring in Sriraj Nair.
You know, Gaurav, I will touch on the more pertinent points. First and foremost, let's be very clear about one thing. You know, people who accuse Narendra Modi of wearing his Hindutva on his sleeve and following a majoritarian agenda, because that is the narrative that has been spewed by the opposition for the last couple of months in the run-up to January 22nd. I want to tell them one thing. This is the same Narendra Modi who went and visited the Grand Istiklal Mosque in Indonesia in 2018. This is the same Narendra Modi who in October 2021 visited the Pope at the Vatican. The last person to do so was 30 years back, and that too was Atal Bihari Vajpayee of the BJP. This is the same Prime Minister who a few months back in 2023 visited the Al-Hakim Mosque in Egypt. And by the way, let me tell you that the Al-Hakim Mosque has been renovated by the Bora Muslim community in India under the aegis of Narendra Modi. This is the same Narendra Modi who very unapologetically says that we have to translate Guru Nanak's Granth in more than 26-30, not only Indian languages, but worldwide as well.
Fair enough, but
This
you
is
haven't
the
responded
same.
to the Pujari aspect that BJP is standing up for somebody who was allegedly involved in riots and has multiple cases against him.
I'm responding, bear with me. Let me be very honest. I have said this on umpteen occasions, Gaurav, on not only your channel, but other channels. BJP, the top brass, will never condone or endorse any form of extrajudicial, vigilantism. And the PM has said this on umpteen occasions from umpteen platforms. But since the BJP is always questioned about the timing, why do you think that the BJP should not question the timing of, Mr. Pujari being now questioned after a good 30-32 years, simply in the run-up to the Ram Janmabhoomi consecration? Should we not question the suspicious timing?
No, so why are you suspicious about the timing? Why are you suspicious about the timing that the arrest is taking place now?
I will answer that. Directly answer. First,
Wait, let me bring in Sriraj. Let me bring in Sriraj Nair. Let me get all our guests into that conversation. Sriraj Nair, how's this playing with emotions of Ram Bhakt as Ram Kadam of the BJP claims? How is Tejasvi Yadav anti-Ram if he talks about hospitals and not temples?
Well, elections are on the corner. We know this is few months away, and now the so-called dotted alliance, they know that they are not able to convince the people, and they're going to bite the dust. So this is a sort of gaslighting. If you attack Bhagwan Ram, some kind of attention they can seek and appease the minority. That this is pure gaslighting, appeasing minority because they know Hindus are polarized. I live in Mumbai. Believe me, Gaurav. From the people who stay in the slums to the high rises, everybody is asking, calling us, and even the corporate households. So such is a joyous atmosphere across the nation and the Hindus living abroad. So these people are not able to counter it. They know in this forthcoming elections, the only thing left out is to appease Muslims. Now, this Awad fellow...
Gaurav, you need to allow me to counter that, please.
No, hold on. I let you speak. Let the other guests speak. Don't get nervous if there are allegations of Muslim appeasement being made. Let those allegations be answered. If this is blatant Muslim appeasement, then, there is time that this must also be taken. Let me also bring in Dr. Ravi Bhatt into this conversation. And Dr. Bhatt, as someone who studied about Ayodhya ji, as somebody who studied about Shriram, in your appreciation, how would you read? Sriraj, just give me one moment. How would you read the statement of Jitendra Awad on Shriram being a meat eater?
This is pure appeasement.
I am very clear on it that this statement by this gentleman is very irresponsible and is an ill-informed person. The reason is very clear. See, Lord Ram is a partially historical figure, as well as he is in the collective imagination and belief of the masses, he is Lord, he is a God also. When he says this gentleman in his statement, he has given a logic that since Lord Ram was Kshatri, and the Kshatris, they are non-vegetarians. He must understand it that number one, not all the Kshatris they eat. It's not a compulsory for them to eat meat. Okay. There are a number of people you will get, not only Hinduism, but other, you go to West also, you find the French people also, who by choice they don't eat meat. Number one. Number two, Ram was not an ordinary Kshatri. Ram was the incarnation of Vishnu. And that is the reason that his total image is of a Maryada Purushottam. He is an ideal for the masses, for the human being. He should be followed. So in the popular imagination also, that when you imagine a God, then you inculcate all the best things in him. And this was also, he was a very kind person. So he will not like that for eating something, for his choice,
okay.
He should
Ghanshyam
put
Tiwari,
in trouble.
Ghanshyam
so
Tiwari,
that is the reason the Ram.
Fair enough, sir. Fair enough. Sir, Ghanshyam Tiwari, the VHP, the BJP, all of them seem to be indicating that the opposition is only making such statements to reach out to the Muslims and do Muslim appeasement. Giriraj Singh also asks another question. If a church or a mosque was coming up, would they have raised these questions? Haj house पर बना दीजिए आप अस्पताल. वहां तो कोई नहीं बोलेगा हज हाउस पे अस्पताल बना दो, लेकिन यहां बोल रहे हैं कि राम मंदिर आ रहा है तो अस्पताल बना दो.
Well, Gaurav, this bogey of Muslim appeasement, it is the same bogey that BJP has, that they have lifted people out of poverty, they have given jobs. Appeasement has to be visible. Are there more minorities in higher education in India? Answer is no. Are there more minorities in jobs in India compared to the last 10 years? Answer is no, as a percentage. Are there more minority women in the legislative assemblies? The answer is no. In parliament, no. Across representation, you tell me, what is a single data that this government can say that this is how minorities were appeased over majority?
I will answer that.
Because they are lying. This is the only government that appeases the ultra rich, the ones who run away with lakhs of crores, the ones who are businessmen that can give electoral bonds to BJP. They don't appease the youth who are looking for jobs. They would not appease the
Sir, I asked you a very direct question. I respect your answers, but Tejasvi Yadav saying अस्पताल अगर बीमार होगे तो अस्पताल जाओगे, राम मंदिर नहीं जाओगे.
Fair point. So Gaurav, you tell me.
That's a fair point you say.
When Tejasvi Yadav ji,
okay,
Bihar is one of the poorest states.
क्या हज हाउस का इनॉग्रेशन होता है तो बोलते हैं हज हाउस मत बनाओ, अस्पताल बनाओ.
You said haj house 10 times.
I did not, sir. I am quoting BJP leaders responding to you on haj house versus Ram Mandir.
Very straightforward point.
Fair enough. Sanju Verma, you wanted to respond.
Yes, thank you. Ghanshyam, I heard you. Just let me quickly rebut. Let me quickly rebut, Ghanshyam. You made many allegations. It's time for me to nail your baseless allegations. First and foremost, Gaurav, let your audience know that 31% of Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana is disbursed to minorities, specifically Muslims. 36% of Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana beneficiaries are Muslim women. 37% of Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana beneficiaries are Muslim women. And most importantly, more than 33% of the beneficiaries of Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi Yojana are also Muslim farmers. Point number one. Point number two, Ghanshyam, listen very carefully. And this data is there on official GOI websites. In the first term of Narendra Modi, 3.9 crore scholarships were given to Muslim men and women. In the second term, that number has already crossed 5 crore scholarships, which means in the 10 years of Narendra Modi's governance, we are talking of 9 to 10 crore scholarships being given largely to the Muslim community. And I want to ask Ghanshyam Tiwari one thing. You say that, BJP does appeasement politics. I can cite examples where Narendra Modi जब अजमेर दरगाह जाते हैं तो बड़ी शिद्दत से वहां भी चादर चढ़ाते हैं. यही Narendra Modi from the ramparts of the Red Fort says we need to celebrate with rigor and with faith the 400th birth anniversary of Guru Tegh Bahadur. This is the same Narendra Modi जो भस्म लगाकर राम मंदिर में पूजा करने के लिए बिल्कुल भी पीछे नहीं हटते. He is unapologetic. But what about your Mulayam Singh? Your Mulayam Singh fired on car sevaks to retain his gaddi. Kalyan Singh ने तो राम मंदिर के लिए अपनी गद्दी त्याग कर दी.
Okay, Ghanshyam Tiwari wants to respond. Ghanshyam Tiwari wants to respond to your point. Yes, go on. Okay, Ghanshyam Tiwari.
India today is known for its fact checks. Fact checks. Fact check 1. 10 crore Muslim scholarships given. What is the minority population in India? What is the school going age? What is the enrollment rate? This is fake news. By them saying that 33% this, 36%, please, I did not interrupt. I did not interrupt.
Your problem is you don't listen carefully, Ghanshyam.
This is absolute fake news. And this is what BJP is good at. They come here and say that 44 crore mudra loans have been given in India. That means that every family, there are roughly 26 crore families in India, roughly each family has gotten 2 mudra loans. You open your call line. अगर आपके मोहल्ले में भी किसी को मुद्रा लोन मिला हो तो आप मुझे बताइए, और अगर आपके मोहल्ले में भी किसी को मुद्रा लोन मिला है तो आप सब परिवार बीजेपी को वोट दीजिए. ये आपके झूठ बोलते हैं कि 44 करोड़ मुद्रा लोन दिए हैं, इनके सारे आंकड़े बोगस हैं.
Again, the issue is the Ram temple today. Gentlemen, okay, ladies and gentlemen, the issue today is the shrill rhetoric on the Ram Mandir. We've had these debates several times on our broadcast, several times. The issue today, and Ghanshyam Tiwari, is there a reason why the specific issue of the Ram temple at Ayodhya, if it's seen as a civilizational moment, that is something that the India Alliance is not moving forward with? And is there a reason for it?
Gaurav, civilizational movement for India was when India gained independence. Did BJP do, RSS do anything in that? Civilization movement for India was when Dr. Ambedkar wrote the constitution, and it ensured that thousands of years of inequalities that was promoted by RSS and Manusmriti are done away with. Civilization movement for India is when computers came. Civilization movement for India is when IITs were constructed. That a temple is getting constructed.
Let him make his point. He wants to make it a point. Let him make his point.
Tejasvi Yadav says that hospital is important, schools are important. You go back. Let BJP go back and say हम आपको मंदिर देंगे, and let India Alliance go back and say हम आपको job देंगे. And if you are watching, if you are a voter, you decide. जिन्होंने आपकी बेटे-बेटियों को बेरोजगार किया, वो चाहिए या जो चाहते हैं कि वो भक्ति करें, नौकरी ना करें.
Again, I will come to that point. Okay,
वो चाहिए कि आपकी बेटियां डर के रहें, या जो चाहते हैं कि
बेटियां कहां डर के रह रही थी? अगर आप वो सच में जानना चाहते हैं तो आप असल में फैक्ट्स बोलिए. Okay, so since you've made several points, Sanju Verma wants to respond.
Thank you. You know, Gaurav, I always say that the devil is in the detail. And Ghanshyam, now you don't heckle me. There is a difference between 41 crore households and 41 crore loan applications. Please go and check the GOI website on Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana. It says more than 23.5 lakh crore worth of mudra loans have been given to 41 crore loan applications which were processed in the last 8 to 9 years. 41 crore loan applications does not mean 41 crore households. You are educated, Ghanshyam. I expect you to understand this basic nuance and subtlety. Now I will tell you the most important thing. Ghanshyam Tiwari says BJP and RSS तो, you know, majoritarian agenda चलाते हैं. यदि हमने इतनी खराबी है, why, despite a 11% rise in vote share in the 2022 assembly elections, which the Samajwadi Party saw, you were reduced to a measly 111 seats? Why is it that for the first time in 37 years, the incumbent government of Yogi Adityanath, the sitting chief minister, was returned back to power with a thumping majority of more than 255 seats? If the Samajwadi Party is so socialist and all is so kosher, why is it that you won 5 seats in Lok Sabha from Uttar Pradesh in 2019?
Be that as it may, but I still want to stay on the issue of, is Ghanshyam Tiwari saying that Ram Lala's idol or Ram temple is not a civilizational moment for Bharat? Is that the point of the Samajwadi Party?
Yes, I want to answer that very quickly.
Be that as it may.
Gaurav, I just want to say one thing, you know, Gaurav, we as Hindus, we always try to say, nahi, Hinduism is not about religion. Today, I tell you as the national spokesperson of BJP, there is no difference between Hindutva, Hinduism, Hindutva bolo, Hinduism bolo. It is about my religion, which I'm proud of. Okay. It is about a civilizational legacy that I'm proud of. It is about a rich cultural heritage, which I'm proud of. I'm not somebody like the Samajwadi Party, which says कि हम रोड पर नमाज तो पढ़ेंगे, पर माथे पर तिलक नहीं लगाएंगे.
Let me bring in Dr. Ravi Bhatt. Dr. Bhatt, as a scholar, in your appreciation, is the Shriram temple at Ayodhya even bigger than the reconstruction of Somnath temple as a civilizational moment for Bharat, that invaders may destroy our temples, but ultimately India will prevail. Whether it's Somnath destroyed several times or the Shriram temple, the temple comes up once again.
See, let's be very clear when we talk of the civilization. In any civilization, like custom, practices, eating habits, they are important, and the most important is the integral. Religion is the integral part of the civilization all over the world. It has been. It has been a very important part of development and civilization. Now, when it comes to India, as we have already said, the Somnath Mandir was rebuilt, and Somnath, this temple, the Lord Ram's image and influence and the followers, they are much more here in India. And the moment that this is reconstructed, I am not going to the merit of what religion is and what not. But let me tell you, it's very difficult to find a person who is not practicing a particular religion.
Okay.
The people who are atheist people, they are in the very, 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 minute.
Okay. Sayyid Asad Abbas, temple is the path to mental slavery.
This moment
Okay, I will answer that.
Ram temple reconstruction is
I will answer that. Yes.
Give me a moment. Just let Dr. Bhatt finish his point. Dr. Bhatt.
For the masses. And religion is a must for, religion is a psychological also base for most of the people when they are distressed, when they have nothing to look forward, then they...
No, but Bharat has a lot to look forward to, sir. Respectfully, Bharat has a lot to look forward to. Religion is an enabler, but that is my point of view, sir. Let me bring in Sayyid Asad Abbas. Temple, okay, Doctor, we've heard you. Sayyid Asad Abbas, temple is the path to mental slavery, says RJD MLA Fateh Bahadur Singh. Future is being destroyed with temples, or words to that effect. Sir, is this what the Ram temple means to opposition India alliance leaders?
Firstly, Gaurav Saab, let me speak to you today as a young Indian Muslim youth. I think absolutely not. A beautiful temple like a Ram temple, a Bhavya Ram Mandir, will no way lead to a mental slavery. In fact, to me, my Islam teaches of mutual respect. Imam Ali very beautifully said, and I'd like to quote, either you're a brother in faith or equal in humanity. Lakum dinokum waliyuddin. To me is my religion, to you is your religion. The same reason why large minority front across India, over 20 crore Muslims have not protested against the Supreme Court verdict, but wholeheartedly accepted, apart from the likes of Owaisi and their dirty politics. Now coming straight to the point, minority appeasement by speaking low of Lord Ram or temple? Absolutely not. You do not appease us. Kerala Samasta.
But it still seems to be happening. Our political leaders seem to think it will pay them rich dividends. Sriraj Nair, the question also remains, why take cognizance of such statements? Let them appeal to their vote bank. The allegation is that the VHP is also playing politics with invitations to the consecration, sir.
There is no politics. It's very clear. From 1984 to 1992, whoever were with Ram Mandir, they have been invited. Now, all these so-called leaders today of the secular alliance or the dotted alliance, they were the people who roped in the best of the lawyers to ensure that the Ram Mandir does not come in existence. Now, today, the Ram Mandir is being built in reality, and now they are not able to tolerate it. So, they are just now the only way left is to appease Muslims, because Hindus across the nation, irrespective of caste, creed, language, or the puja paddhati, they all have become one. So this is the only way left out to abuse Ram.
Why will Muslim be appeased if somebody speaks low of Lord Ram?
That's the only
an allegation.
I'm really sorry. The nation is going to be deprived of a constructive opposition, because the entire opposition is going to be wiped out. In Uttar Pradesh, only the Gundas...
No, but my point remains, why should this remain? Why should this remain about politics at all? Why cannot everyone be on the same page? As they say, this is, Ghanshyam Tiwari may not agree that this is a civilizational moment for Bharat, but the saints and seers...
1947. Bharat is one of the oldest civilizations. Ghanshyam Tiwari may not agree with it, because he wants to appease. He is seeing a big whitewash. in the coming election.
Okay.
Sir, I am a Muslim and I am not appeased by the statement, sir. Why are you so hating on this front?
No,
Have you
but I
seen Muslims
seriously want to
being
know just
appeased?
facts on ground. That's our effort, to know facts on ground. And over the course of the next several days, we shall continue to discuss and debate this thing. And hopefully, before the 22nd, everyone would be on the same page on this Divya Bhavya Ram temple that's coming up in Ayodhya. To all my guests, many thanks for joining me on this India Today special.